If you're looking for an easy home workout to do that requires very little equipment and has strength and flexibility, Barre Definition may be what you're looking for, with some caveats. So today I wanted to share my experience on the app, mainly because I've been using it for months and it is probably one of the best workout apps I've tried, which is why it's my first review that I've done on this YouTube channel. I've been raving about it to my clients, my friends, and so I wanted to share it with everyone else who might come across this video, especially people on my clinic email list. Hi, welcome. My name is Catherine. I'm the founder and principal therapist of LSM Clinic, a sport and remedial massage therapy clinic in East London. In this channel, I share tips about muscle care, how to take care of your body so that you can enjoy your favorite activities and live as close to pain-free as possible. So the reason I wanted to do my first ever review is because I'm always talking to clients about doing ab activation, doing glute activation, working on balance, doing all of these conditioning things and stretching and self-care and all of that. And I've started using this app, Barre Definition, since I think August last year. And I've been really pleased with not only how fun I find the workouts, but also how effective they are at targeting the things that I'm always telling people to work on. So I wanted to do this review so that if you're looking for a way to be incorporating some of this strength and balance work, getting your abs working and your glutes working, improving your posture and your posture muscles, and actually enjoy it, you might like this app. But there are some caveats that I have for you, some things that you have to bear in mind going into it. If you're going to enjoy it, if you're going to like using it, and if it's going to be effective for you, and not discouraging. And I'll explain what I mean when I get to the caveat section of this video. But first, if you're not familiar with Barre Definition, it is an app that has Pilates, it has yoga, it has barre, it has some dance. She does some dance to Latin music, she does some dance to pop music. Using weights, not using weights, using body weight. She does have some videos on YouTube, so I'm going to include them in the description box below so that you can see a sample of what her workouts are kind of like. I personally really like the app. So the reason that I like using the app versus just using the YouTube videos is because when you go into the app, there are a couple of programs that you can start with. There's a 28-day beginner program. There's a 90-day program. That's like the first 30 days is called Gentle. The second 30 days is called Define, I think. And the third 30 days is Strong. And in each of those 30 days, you repeat the week 4 times so that you can see your progress. And I really loved the Gentle as a foundation for people who maybe need help with glute activation, ab activation, balance, posture, all of these things. You get a schedule that you can track your schedule. You can schedule things in the app and then it notes when you've completed it. So I really like that because I'm not always following the program. There's also every day in the app, there's a calendar. And there's like, here's your suggested exercises for Monday. Here's your suggested exercises for Tuesday. Sometimes there's a challenge. There's also some really good, like there's a video about like what to do if you have wrist pain during some of the exercises. There's an ab rehab program if you really struggle to get into your abs. And of course you can favorite your favorite exercises. So those are all reasons that I really like the app. And the app, the cost of the app, if you sign up for a full year, you get a 7-day trial. It's like, I think it's like $99. It works out to about $8 a month. There is a monthly option, but they price it at $29.99, which, is clearly to encourage people to sign up for the year. But I personally think it's amazing value for $8 a month for this. And you do get a 7-day trial if you want to try it out. In the app, there is also like a habit change program, some recipes, meditations, affirmations. I don't really look at the recipes or the meditations, so I can't really comment on that because for me it's really, really about the workouts. If you want to see what the app looks like, you can get a bit of a preview of it if you go to their website, which I will put below. It doesn't show you the bottom where you can like have your schedule and have your favorites and things like that, but it does kind of show you what it looks like when you go into the app with how the workouts are laid out and things like that. So let me tell you why I love the workouts so much. So one of the things that I really like about the person who does the majority of the exercises, the person who the app belongs to, Jacqueline, is she really emphasizes the mind-body connection. You know, if you've worked with me or my team, you know, we're always saying, you know, touch the muscle and feel. And I've not actually seen, and I haven't seen all of the apps in the world, but on the various exercise programs I've tried, because I've tried Center, I've tried something, Ballet Beautiful, another ballet one. I've tried a few different ones. I've not seen somebody being like, touch the muscle, make sure it's working. She really emphasizes glute activation and making sure your glutes are firing. She really reminds you to be using your abs, and she really reminds you to be thinking about your posture. And the exercises really emphasize those muscles that often aren't used. She gives so many varied range of movement exercises where, like, you might be working the legs and the glutes, but you're going in multiple directions, out to the side, diagonally, front diagonal, off to the diagonal, crossing over, that you're really using a lot of the smaller muscles that we don't get if we're doing repetitive movements, if we're doing like weightlifting, that is just like repetitive weightlifting, or running or cycling, where you're reusing those muscles over and over again. And I know that sometimes glute activation, like getting your glutes to work and getting your abs to work, can be very tricky. And I have found in this program, I can get my glutes to switch on so much easier than anything else. I don't have to think about it as much. And I really do think it's because of the variety of movements that you're going through and the way that she reminds you to do them. I also think the workouts are really fun because there's a lot of variety in movement that really uses your brain. Like, some of the things I still can't do, even though I've been doing it for months. I'll do a workout and you'll have something where it's like your leg's behind you and then it's in front and then you go around here and then you twist. And she explains it really clearly, but you're using your mind so much to try to do the movement, you kind of forget sometimes that you're working out. I also really recommend that if you do the app, that you start with the gentle program. I mean, maybe the beginner and then the gentle. Because in the gentle program, in that 30 days, she walks you through like doing a plank in a way that really uses your lower abs and takes pressure off your lower back. And I used to hate doing leg lifts. I would not do them because they always hurt my back. But she explains it in a way that you really understand how it helps your lower abs. And that's probably going to be a video that I make at some point, because I was like, how can I have been working with the body for so long and not realize how to do a leg lift that works the lower abs and doesn't just overwork your hip flexors. And I do think there's something inherent about dance when you're doing the bar workouts, that because, you know, you're lifting forward, so you're working your hip flexor, but then when you bring your leg behind you, not only are you working your glutes, you're also stretching that hip flexor. So you're getting a lot of oppositional movement, which helps to balance it out, and it helps with flexibility. And the other thing, when you're in a dance movement, especially like with a leg, you are really trying to lengthen yourself out instead of kind of compress everything down. And that's like something I've really noticed about this is, you know, I feel like when I've done weights, when I've done running, when I've done boxing, when I've done other things that work the muscles, it's like contracting. But when you're doing dance movements, when you're doing like a kick or kind of a, I want to say fondue, I think it is. You know, you're lengthening. And how often do we try to lengthen our body? So that uses just like a totally different set of muscles. So as you can see, I really love the workouts. I think they're fun. I think they're engaging. They're tricky. And like, I only do about 3 or 4 times a week most of the time. And I feel a difference in my posture versus like if I take a week off. And I feel a massive difference in my balance. There's a lot of weight, like body weight stuff. And it really takes you through, you know, using your back. I love that she does back exercises, so you're getting the balance. It really feels very well-rounded to me, and I really enjoy the way that she teaches. She does have other instructors that she brings on. There's one instructor I didn't care for, so I don't watch their videos, but like most of them are really lovely. Now, before I talk about the caveats, let me just answer the question, what equipment do you need? Now, when I started, I had a pair of hand weights, like 2.5 kilo hand weights that I'd gotten ages ago on FreeCycle. I did have a resistance band from when I had been working out at the gym and doing weights, because I would use it for getting my glutes active in certain movements, and a yoga mat. And that's all I had to start. Now, I ended up buying 1 kilo ankle weights, and that was probably about after a month in. And then about 2-3 weeks ago, I got the heavier 5 kilo weights. So that gives you an idea. Like there's stuff that she'll recommend, but you don't have to use it. You can graduate up to it. You don't need it. She also uses sliders, which I think is a thing in Pilates, but I refuse to buy them and refuse to use them, so I just don't do those workouts. But realistically, you don't need a lot of equipment, and she does have a ton of videos that are just body weight, or where like she might recommend you wear ankle weights, but the ankle weights are optional. There's another thing that's really good about it is it's like you're not having to buy a load of expensive equipment to use for the workouts. I think she also has some kettlebell workouts, but I haven't done any of those, so I haven't really worried about trying to get a kettlebell or not. The caveats are the things that I think you need to be aware of if you're going to enjoy this program and get the benefit out of it that I think you can, obviously, that really, or I wouldn't be recommending this program. The first thing you have to do is leave your perfectionism at the door. You know, there's a Facebook group, and I see people in the Facebook group being like, oh, I feel like a failure because I couldn't do all the reps. Like, these videos were absolutely made for you to come back to and get better each time. It is incredibly rare, if ever, that I'm able to go through a video and do all of the reps or do the exercises for the full 45 or 50 seconds when she does the interval videos, right? And I'll just go, okay, can I do 5 this time? The next time maybe I'll do 6 or 7. The next time I can do 8, right? She does give a ton of modifications, which I really appreciate. You may want to be familiar with your own, just in case, but usually she will like do this or you can do this. She's very encouraging about doing what feels available to your body today, so you don't feel like you have to like do the most difficult thing. And also with like the perfectionist bent, like she has a video or 2 every day in the app, you know, when you're doing the gentle, when you're doing the 90-day program, or if you're following the calendar. The calendar has exercises 6 days a week, and there are sometimes 2 or 3 videos in there for the day. Sometimes it's just like one 30-minute video. Sometimes it's like, you know, goes up to 50-minute with the variety. I treat them all as suggestions. I do what feels good for my body that day. If I feel like I need to rest, I rest. I don't work out 6 days a week. And I really feel a difference in how strong and balanced and active the muscles that I need to be active are. So that's the one thing, like go into it. If you go in and you look at that calendar and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to do all of these exercises every day. Yes, I don't think you should personally. I think that it would be very rare that someone should be doing all of those all the time, especially for people who are coming to us to see us. Like if you can do 3 days a week, that's great. If you do an exercise and you're still sore 3 days later, let yourself rest, right? And giving yourself that grace means that you can have fun with it. There's some moves you're just not going to be able to do. And so then you just let yourself have a rest on those and pick up the next set, right? The second thing I will say, and this is very much a personal thing, but I wanted to let you know in case you're at all like me, I don't do her yoga videos. Like I don't. I did the gentle program and I did the gentle videos and I was like, this is great. It's working me just the right amount of hard. And then on the Saturday, she had a yoga video and I tried to do the yoga video. And I was like, I am not a pretzel. And I feel like maybe because she's naturally very flexible, because she has like a background as a dancer and a Lakers girl, that some things that are not really great for people who aren't super flexible, she can do easily. So it just felt really hard to me and I couldn't find an easy way to adjust. So for my yoga videos, I tend to do yoga and bird, and then I do everything else with her. So I would just say, like, if you try the yoga videos that she offers and you're like, this is too hard for me, it's not going to be true for the rest of the program, and just, you know, that's okay. It's one category, and some of them are okay, but for the most part, I don't do them. So the next one I kind of mentioned in the first caveat but it deserves its own category. Know your modifications. So all of us have different bodies and all of us have different bodies who are going to be able to do different things. It's really important for you to be comfortable modifying how you need to and recognize that there are just going to be some things your body can't do. You know, for a very basic example, she will have moves where, like, say you're in upright high plank and she says, bring your knee to your elbow. My knee is never going to get to my elbow because I have a stomach and my thigh will hit my stomach before my knee will hit my elbow. And that's fine. So I just bend my knee as much as I can and I put it back down. There are also certain things where I'm just not that flexible, or I know pushing into that flexibility isn't going to be good for my body. So I work a lot with my own modifications. Like I said earlier, she does give quite a few, but just remember, it's okay if you can't do it exactly the way she does it. And, you know, modifications are there so that you can work up to things sometimes. Like I still can't do more than like one push-up without my knees on the ground. My push-ups are pretty much always knees on the ground, but that's okay because I'm still getting stronger in my upper body, right? Now the last thing, and this again is like actually really personal to me, but maybe it will apply to you as well. I don't do jumping. So this is like my modification. If she's doing jumping in a video, I'm stepping or I'm going on releve. So like going up on my toes, I'm not jumping. Maybe one day in the future I'll be into jumping, but it's partly for me because I just don't like jumping physically. And also it's partly for my downstairs neighbor because I don't want her to hear like the ceiling banging around over her head all the time. I think one of the really great things about having a video, having an app like this is that you can do stuff on your own. And if you do have to modify or if you do have to rest, it doesn't matter because no one can see you. And I totally get that there are some people who really need to go to a class to have that accountability. And I think that's great if that's what works for you. But if you find that you can't always keep up in classes or that it's hard to find time to go places, or if you're like me and you get simultaneously self-conscious that you can't do things and also distracted by people having bad form, having an app with a workout that you can do at home that you can just switch on when you want to is great. And I personally love it because like, you know, this week I worked all day on Sunday and then I did like a 12-minute class because she has 10 to 20-minute classes. She even has like little 5-minute videos. And then on Monday, I was able to do like a 36-minute class because I had the time, right? So there's a lot of variety in the time. All of this is to say, I really recommend Barre Definition if you are trying to get your glutes active, get your abs active, improve your posture, feel stronger, improve your balance. And like I said, I've not done a review before, so I just have been telling everyone about it. So I thought I would put it on here, share it with the clinic, share it with our email list and anybody else who is thinking about joining it. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to leave me a comment. And I will see you in the next video. Oh, I should also say, if you enjoy content about taking care of your body or muscle care or things like stretching or taking care of various pains, this is what I talk about. So you can like and subscribe and sign up to the email list if you'd like to get these sent to your email as I release them. So thanks so much for watching and have a great day.